leave them. From timeless classics to modern page turners, we dive into every chapter and bring stories to life. Chapters and Chats, where every chapter feels like home. Only on Oxygen FM 96.9.
Yeah. 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 There's a place where stories come alive and imagination, runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapters and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you in deeper ways. Feel the journey, live the moment. It's story time. Chapters and Chat, where stories live and conversations grow. Only on Oxygen 96.9 FM. 9 FM.
All right, a beautiful Saturday morning to you. Good morning. Welcome to Chapters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9, where we inform, inspire, and ignite. My name is Floriana, and over the next hour, we'll journey through remarkable story. Together, we'll examine compelling plots, characters, powerful theme, and enduring lessons that make every great book worth reading. So if you are ever wondered whether a book is worth your time, or you are simply looking for the next unforgettable read, you've come to the right place. Yes, that is right, Chapters and Chat, because we'll take a look at this story. I'm going to tell you the plot of the story. I'll tell you the title of the story. I'm going to examine the plot of the story, and together we are going to be taking a look at the plot, the characters, the themes, and everything about the book. And of course, we'll also get to give it a rating after that. Now, today's book is quite emotional, suspense, and yes, it expresses love, betrayal, family secrets, lies, and everything. Today's book is The Ledger by Lola Shiobola, and yeah, it's a good read. When we come back, I will unveil the story. Stay with us.
Yeah, there's a place where stories come alive and imagination, runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapters and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you. Yeah. There's a place where stories come alive and imagination, runs wild.
Of course, it is Chapters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9. Yes, it's that book review program where we'll be talking about a story. I would explain the story to you and we'll get to rate it together. Like I said earlier, today's book is The Ledger by Lola Shiobola. And I'm going to start the story. Now, the novel opens 2 days before Chinwe's Obasi's death. Chinwe is raising her autistic son, Kene. There's a woman. We say a woman now because the story is like it's coming here and there. We're saying the past, we're saying the present. So literally it opens with the 2 days before Chinwe's Obasi's death. Chinwe is raising our autistic son, Kene, whose life depends on strict routine that help him feel safe and ensure. She's also 8 weeks pregnant with the child of David Adebayo. He's a wealthy married man. He's married, but he's wealthy. He's a wealthy married man who has secretly maintained a relationship with her for years, and he tried living in the shadow. Then Chinwe asked David to join her and Kene for dinner so that they can finally feel like a family. But David refuses. He's insisting that their relationship must remain hidden. And Chinwe, she becomes frustrated now as a woman who is pregnant for this man with his child, and she just becomes frustrated. She now tells him, she threatens to tell his wife Grace about the affair and the pregnancy, and David wants her to wait until they meet the following day. But that meeting never happens. And then we see the story jumps to the present, where we see Detective Rita Nwosu. And he informs David that Chinwe has been murdered in a Lagos apartment, and Kene is the only survivor of the attack. And we see that he's autistic, so definitely he cannot pinpoint what happened, and he cannot explain to the police that this is what happened and how it happened. David was devastated, but he was afraid. His greatest fear is his wife discovering his secret life. And since Chinwe made him emergency contact, he's forced to cooperate with the investigators while pretending to his wife at home, that's Grace, that Chinwe is only his colleague at the office. Grace initially believes David's explanation. David comes up and is just telling her that, okay, this person is just my colleague at the office, and definitely she buys it. She sympathizes with the son. She feels sorry for Kene, who has just lost his mother. But then in her mind, she starts to get that mind that is just telling her that, okay, do you believe this story? It was just an inconsistent mind, and she just starts to trouble her because she has recalled how Kene and David has interacted during like a Christmas party one time before she passed on, and she begins to question everything. She begins to question the relationship with Chinwe, and why the police and the child welfare officers, why they seem so interested in David. Like, what is the relationship? So Grace starts to suspect everything. And meanwhile, we see Detective Nwosu, and he noticed that David's statement it's carefully rehearsed. When someone writes a statement that is planned, it will tell. So he just realized that, okay, there's something wrong. This thing is too perfect. Then he starts to suspect him. And, then David now, he shifts the claims, the suspicion to one of Chinwe's actual colleague in the office. His name is Emeka Okafor, and he's also Kene's biological father. Let's rerun this thing again so we can get the story. A woman, Chinwe, she has like an extramarital affair with a wealthy man, married man. A wealthy married man. His name is David Adebayo. Chinwe has a son, an autistic son, Kene. Kene is not David's biological son, and David Adebayo is not Kene's biological father. Meanwhile, it is another man, and David claims that man is a colleague, Emeka Okafor. That is Kene's biological father. Chinwe is murdered in a Lagos apartment, and because David is our emergency contact, he becomes like a prime suspect because they had to know what happened. And we know that Kene is autistic, so he could not definitely give us a background to what happened the day his mother was murdered. And we also see Grace. Grace is David Adebayo's wife in Abuja. Actual wife in Abuja. She has children for him. They are married together. When Grace starts to suspect that, okay, this, that, David tells her that, okay, Chinwe is my colleague at office, because we see the police being so interested in David Adebayo because he was Chinwe's emergency contact. So of course it's just normal for the police to be suspicious of him. So they were investigating him and all. So he just had to tell his wife Grace that, oh, this woman is nothing, she's just my colleague in the office. Because he now noticed that, oh, they are trying to suspect him, they are trying to change everything, he just moved the blame to Emeka Okafor, that is Kene's biological father, and he kept describing him as unstable, that Kene's biological father Emeka is unstable, is possessive, that they be fighting for custody over Kene when Chinwe was alive. And Emeka, they used to have this back and forth, and they kept fighting for custody for Kene, because Emeka wants custody of his son, but Chinwe is not agreeing to it. She did not agree. So, and he just keeps saying that he loves his son, but he was just so possessive about it. So it was just so easy for this man, for David, to just shift the blame. More importantly, it is revealed in the story that Chinwe, she kept a detailed ledger. Now, a detailed ledger is like a book. It's a financial book where you just put everything. So she kept a detailed ledger documenting every financial contribution David made towards them. The rent he paid, the therapy, the school fees, the medical expenses, and even her pregnancy. Because remember, before she died, she was pregnant with David's child. So all that, she has a detailed ledger for that. And as the investigation process begins, Kenneth becomes an important person, but is a witness, but he could not probably talk because he's still traumatized by his mother's death and is unable to communicate, to express himself. Later along the story, we see flashback from Kenneth's perspective, and it's later revealed that he was hiding in his blanket. He was hiding under his blanket when he heard a very unfamiliar voice and his mother's frightened response. Then he heard a loud crash and silence. That was when he discovered that, okay, his mom was no more, but he does not have like a crucial memory and he cannot clearly identify the killer. And that is one thing I might say I do not really like. But anyways, let me just continue. Grace now, that is Adebayo's real wife. Grace, her suspicions about the Kene, about Chinwe, about her husband David, it grows deeper. She begins to suspect him, and she starts to review David's frequent business trips to Lagos. She starts to analyze everything, and Detective Mosu, he eventually discovers Chinwe's hidden ledger in Kene's room, and the records, it's perfectly match David's bank statement, proving that he had maintained a secret second family while he was lying to both the police and Grace, because he lied to her. And yes, we see the flashback reveals why Chinwe actually kept the ledger. It's because that she discovered that, okay, David does not want to publicly acknowledge her. To be on the safer side, she's like, okay, let me just keep it. And because if David eventually denies the child, in her mind she was trying to play safe. And as a matter of fact, even David's mother knows about this secret family he has on the side, and because of this, Grace later discovers the truth, and we see Grace and David's marriage collapse because she learns that David's mother and even his elder brother Kunle knew about Chinwe and Kene, but they decided to keep it secret. These people even went ahead to do a traditional marriage to Chinwe. Like they were wedded. They did a wedding. they did a wedding. They had a traditional wedding, but they kept it secret all this while. And in their mind, they're like, okay, if they protect this secret, it's like, if they keep the secret, it's like they're protecting their family. They're protecting the Adebayo family. They're protecting David's family. But Grace, she could no longer bear with this, and she just decided to leave him. And Detective Nwosu, he compiles every evidence together and showing that David has secretly been supporting Chinwe and repeatedly lied during the investigation. And yes, they arrested him because he lied during the investigation. And as I said earlier, Grace left him. She left him. David, he was arrested. 6 months later, David is plead guilty to lying to investigators, and he serves 10 months in prison. Yet he was never convicted of Chinwe's murder because detective did not identify the real mother and the real killer. And I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the book I was like, I need to write a petition to get a part 2 because I need to know the killer. And the mother remains unsolved. Literally, we did not get to know who killed Chinwe in the book. And Grace also leaves David. She keeps her own surname and she starts a new career with herself. And we also see Kene. Kene is placed under custody of his biological father, Emeka Okafor. And yes, although it was quite difficult for him, it was quite difficult for Kene, but he later adjusted to his new life. And that's literally how the book ends. The book ends with Grace's younger daughter asking about her father's well-being, that okay, where's daddy? But Grace could, of course, she could not give like a straight answer as to where the father is. So she tells him that, oh, your dad is not coming home again. And it's quite interesting. One thing I found interesting is how the author did not reveal everything immediately, but instead, as each chapters play out, it's just one layer or the other, and you want to discover another secret. I'm going to go on a short break, and when I come back, I'm going to be talking about what is the book all about? What do I like about the book? What don't I like about the book? We'll be right back.
With stories come alive, and imagination runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapters and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you.
Your station. Your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
The Mailman, a message from you waiting in your future.
You can send your stories via our WhatsApp number 0704-1007-969, or simply walk in and drop your message at the Knowledge Hub, Okeado, Ibadan.
The Mailman, Oxygen FM 96.9, Okeado, Ibadan.
Ìtàn tó ń kọ́ni. Àlọ́ o, àlọ́. Bí ẹ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ ìtàn àròsọ bíi ti àwọn bàbá wa, gbọ́ òwe, orin ìbílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kọ́ tó ń tọ́ ènìyàn sọ́nà rere, ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ Kọ́ládé Sàlámì Bàbá Àṣà, Oracle of Culture, nínú ìtàn àṣà alẹ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láti aago 6 títí di 7 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lórí Oxygen FM 96.9. Ìtàn wa, àṣà wa, ìgbéraga wa.
Ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀, àgbẹ̀ ló láyé. Every seed you plant is a promise. Every harvest is a reward of your faith in the soil. If you walk the land, tend the garden, build along the agricultural value chain, you are not just farming, you are feeding the future. Láṣẹ̀níkẹ́ ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀, àgbẹ̀ ló láyé lètò kan ètò kan tẹ́ ó ti máa mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àtàǹfààní rẹ̀ lórí ìkànnì Oxygen 96.9 FM Ìbàdàn ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ dáago 6 àgbẹ̀rẹ̀ 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. pẹ̀lú àwọn atọ́kùn méjèèjì Bámidélé Olúwafẹ́mi Oko, MC Ban tó ń ti alàgbà Dennis Gideon Chidi. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé àròkọ bọ́dúndé o.
Kan sára sí àgbẹ̀ àròkọ bọ́dúndé tóró kókó.
broadcasting live and loud. Be informed, inspired, be ignited. The Knowledge Hub. Oxygen FM 96.9. Okeado, Ibadan. Don't touch that down.
All right, thank you for staying with us. This is Chatters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9, and of course we're taking a look at The Ledger today. Literally, it's a book about a woman, Chinwe, with our autistic son, Kene, and we see them living a life in secret because the man she loves, the man she's married to, did not want to claim her in public. And the man's name is David Adebayo. Apparently, David Adebayo has another family in Abuja, while Chinwe and her son Kene are living in an apartment in Lagos. He has another wife and a family, Grace and her children. They are staying in Abuja, although Grace is like the first person, is the first wife, and Chinwe is the second. Then he keeps Chinwe and Kene away from people. He's keeping them away from the public. But Chinwe, she gets tired of staying in secret. She wants to be known as his wife, and then she just invites him that come to us, come to the apartment. Let's have dinner together. That's how Baba refused though. David Adebayo, he refused, and then Chinwe is like, oh, if you do not come to have dinner with us here in Lagos, I'm going to tell your wife about this secret family you have. And yes, of course, it's just normal for him to panic and things like that. But she didn't even get to tell Grace, because when David and Chinwe, they were supposed to meet. Before they got to meet, Chinwe died, and although it wasn't revealed in the book who the murderer of Chinwe's death, but we do not see who killed her. But we see that David is now put on the spotlight because during the investigation, it is revealed to Grace that he has another family, Chinwe, and he has constantly been lying to her that, oh, it's just a colleague. He has never told her about his second family, and through the investigation, it is brought to the light that he has a secret family, and Grace later discovers that he has a secret family, and because she cannot take that, she has to leave him. And David, we see him, he's sentenced to some months in prison because he did not cooperate with investigation. Now, he had lied during a statement that Chinwe is just a colleague of his. As a matter of fact, he even tried to push the blame to Kene's biological father, Emeka Kafo. And although, because he thinks that, Emeka and Chinwe, they be having back and forth because they are trying to fight for the custody of Kene, and they've never agreed because Chinwe does not want him to have custody, but Emeka wants to have custody of his son. So it was just so easy for David to just put the blame on him, but investigation shows otherwise. It shows that David, as a matter of fact, has a contact with Chinwe, and he has been providing for them. He has been paying the bills. He has been paying everything because Chinwe had kept a ledger. She has kept a ledger in Kene's room just in case. So these things then point to David that, okay, David has actually been keeping contact with them. Mind you, David was not arrested because of the mother of Chinwe. He was arrested because he had lied in his statement that he does not have anything to do with Chinwe and Kene, that he does not know them. So he had lied for like obstruction of justice. He had been arrested for obstruction of justice, and the thing is, throughout the book, we did not see the real killer. So it's just a mystery. Who killed Chinwe? We do not know who killed her. It was just a mystery. All right, now let's take a look at some of the other things in the book. Let's start with the themes of the book. The themes of the book are literally simple. We see family loyalty, deception, autism, Justice, accountability. David did not take accountability of. He did not even say the truth. He wasn't saying the truth all true. But these themes are handled thoughtfully and remains highly relevant in the book. Now, what I love about the book is the fact that the writing is kind of intelligent and the suspense builds slowly. You know, a book that even when the story is finished, there's still suspense. So I love that. And the characters, yes, they feel real. And the story, I won't say the story is rushed, because I do not feel it's rushed at all. And I love how the author handled the autism respectfully through Kenne's character. I love how it shows that children can communicate in ways adults often fail to understand. Now, the things I've learnt: secrets cannot stay hidden forever. It can never stay hidden forever. And love without honesty, it causes pain. One of the literary style of the book is psychological thriller. That's basically how the author was writing. It's like a psychological thriller, and yes, I love that. I love the suspense. Now let's talk about the pros and the cons. Before I talk about what I enjoyed, let's start with the cons of the book. The ending. The ending is giving a bittersweet moment, but it's frustrating because the mother case remains unsolved. We do not get to know who killed Chinwe. We just want to know who killed her. The mother case, it remains unresolved in the book, and yes, it's quite frustrating. But I love how we get to see that, okay, the Adebayo was the secret, his little secret was later revealed. And another thing I did not really like is the fact that some supporting characters, that such as Kunle is David's elder brother. Kunle and Adebayo, I feel like they could have held like a very significant role in the story, but we did not see them being explored in the book. The only thing that we saw about them is them talking about the fact that, oh, they knew about David Adebayo's little secret, but they decided to keep it secret. And we also see that his brother now, Kunle knew about it, although at first he did not want to agree with the whole family and everything, but he had no other choice than for him to just succumb to what his mother and brother had in plan. So yes, and David's character, it remains emotionally distant throughout the novel, and it makes it more difficult to sympathize with him, because I feel it's something that one would have wanted to sympathize with him because he was arrested, but he did not hold a lot of emotional stuff in the story, so you could not easily just sympathize with him. And again, the mystery was quite disappointing because we never got to know who the actual killer is. So I'm kind of pained that I did not see the killer. I was expecting a twist. I was expecting oh, okay, probably Grace is the killer. Probably Grace already knew about this earlier, and she just was pretending, and she was the one that killed Chinwe, but we didn't get that. So now let's talk about the good things, what I really enjoyed in the book. Now, these characters are realistic, and I love the fact that we see strong female characters like Grace. Usually when I read African books, it's more about the women suffering, the women going through a lot. So I love the fact that Grace did not give a chance for that. Immediately she saw that, okay, Mr. David Adebayo, you have another family, you lied, you cheated, she left him. So I really love the strong female characters. And yes, and I love the use of the financial records, the ledger, things like that. I really love that. And I love how I talked about Kenneth earlier being an autistic child. So I love how it was handled with empathy and respect. I love that. And I love how the investigation was not rushed. It was something that we were seeing unfold naturally. We saw it unfold naturally. We saw it unveil itself naturally. So I really love that. And every character, it's just building towards the conclusion without unnecessary sin. So there was no unnecessary, the author was not beating about the bush. So I really love that. I love that. All right, let's go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll talk more about what I enjoyed in the book, and of course we'll be talking about the plot, the character development, the writing styles, the theme, social relevance, emotional impact, the suspense, ending. Then I'll give it an overall rating.
Yeah. There's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapters and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you. Yeah. There's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapters and Chat. Breathe in the beat, breathe out the vibe. Oxygen FM keeps the city alive. Turn it up now, let the rhythm ignite. We be together.
Ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀, àgbẹ̀ ló láyé. Every seed you plant is a promise. Every harvest is a reward of your faith in the soil. If you walk the land, tend the garden, build along the agricultural value chain, you are not just farming, you are feeding the future. Láṣẹ̀níkẹ́ ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé lètòkè ìtòkàn tẹ́ ó ti máa mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àtàǹfààní rẹ̀ lórí ìkànnì Oxygen 96.9 FM Ìbàdàn ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ dáago 6 gbẹ̀rẹ̀ 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. pẹ̀lú àwọn atọ́kùn méjèèjì Bámidélé Olúwafẹ́mi Oko MC Ban tó ń ti alàgbà Dennis Gideon Chidi. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé àròkọ bọ́dúndé o.
Kan sára sí àgbẹ̀, àròkọ bọ́dúndé, tòròkọ kórìíra.
Ìtàn tó ń kọ́ni. Àlọ́ o, àlọ́. Bí ẹ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ ìtàn àròsọ bíi ti àwọn bàbá wa, gbọ́ òwe, orin ìbílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kọ́ tó ń tọ́ ènìyàn sọ́nà rere, ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ Kọ́ládé Sàlámì Bàbá Àṣà, Oracle of Culture nínú ìtàn àṣà alẹ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láti aago 6 títí di 7 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lórí Oxygen FM 96.9. Ìtàn wa, àṣà wa, ìgbéraga wa.
Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi, ètò tí ó máa wáyé ní gbogbo ọjọ́ ìsinmi Sunday ní dédé agogo 1 ọ̀sán sí agogo 2 ọ̀sán ní Oxygen FM 96.9. Ètò ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi láti máa dúpẹ́ tí a sì máa mọ rírì orí Ọlọ́run tó ń fún wa ní ìsinmi ayọ̀. Gbogbo ènìyàn ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ nínú ètò ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Ẹ kú ọjọ́ ìsinmi o. Koma rọ́ọ̀kì, koma rọ́ọ̀kì ilé tó yẹ. Koma rọ́ọ̀kì, koma rọ́ọ̀kì ilé tó yẹ o. On Oxygen FM rédíò, koma rọ́ọ̀kì 96.9, koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Sátidé ni koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Aago 8 ságo 9 àṣálẹ́ koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Oyè rọ́ọ̀kì kìkìkìkìkìkìkì koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Koma rọ́ọ̀kì lè tó yí koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Òkè Àdó Ìbàdàn ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàwà koma rọ́ọ̀kì ṣàlẹ̀ tó yí o koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Sátidé ló ti máa rọ́ọ̀kì koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Lágogo 8 ságo 9 àṣálẹ́ koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Koma rọ́ọ̀kì. Koma máa rọ́ọ̀kì lọ́sẹ̀ koma rọ́ọ̀kì. kó máa rọ́ọ̀kì lórí Oxygen FM 96.9.
The Mailman, a message from you waiting in your future.
You can send your stories via our WhatsApp number 0704-1007-969 or simply walk in and drop your message at the Knowledge Hub, Okeado, Ibadan.
The Mailman, Oxygen FM 96.9, Okeado, Ibadan.
What's up, Ibadan? It's time to kickstart your hustle. Tune into Oxygen FM 96.9, Monday through Saturday, between 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Ignition Lab, where we give you updates on how to live soft life with smart hustle. Ignition Lab, where young people's thoughts are welcome. Don't sleep on it.
Broadcasting live and loud. Be informed, inspired, be ignited. The Knowledge Hub. Oxygen FM 96.9. Okeado, Ibadan. Don't talk that down.
Yeah, there's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild. Every chapter.
All right, thank you for staying with us. This is Chapters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9. Of course, the story is The Ledger by Lola Shionbola. Of course, we're talking about Chinwe, a woman who was just suddenly found dead in our apartment. What is the cause of this murder? Although we didn't get to know throughout the book, but yes, we also get to see David Adebayo, the man who has two different families, one in Abuja, one in Lagos. Now, Chinwe is his family in Lagos with a son, Kene, but Kene now is not David's biological son. Instead, Chinwe was pregnant of David's biological child before she died. We didn't get to see the cause of the mother. We just discovered in the book that Chinwe was found dead. And of course, David being our emergency contact, the police had to call him first because he is our emergency contact rather. Okay, we also get to see Grace. Grace is David Adebayo's wife, literally his wife in Abuja, and every little time he is always just lying to her about Chinwe and their son Kene. And Kene, she never gets to know what really happened. She was always wondering, like, who are these people? Because every time they have this very cordial relationship. When she first saw Chinwe at a Christmas party, she was suspicious. She was like, okay, who is she? But he lied to her and said she's just a colleague. And when this investigation started about the police force, they kept in contact with David Adebayo. They kept asking him questions, telling him to come for investigation. The wife's suspicious naturally just grew more because she was like, why are these people coming for you if you have nothing to do with her? But he just said, oh, she's a colleague. And instead, he shifts the blame to another character in the book, and that is Kene's biological father, Emeka Okafor. And he is Kene's biological father. He tries to shift the blame towards him because Chinwe and this Emeka, they've been having back and forth before she passed on. So he tried to do that, but it didn't quite work for him. Although throughout the novel, we did not get to see the real killer, and I'm still pained that we didn't get to see the real killer. Like, please, who is the real killer of this crime? We didn't get to see it. So it's one thing that I'm like, oh Lord, why? But anyways, the thing is, the book exposed David Adebayo's lies to his wife about him having two families. It exposes that, and it also exposes the fact that he lied to obstruct investigation to the police. He lied in his statement. When the police had asked him a very simple question, he had lied. So of course it's obstructed investigation. Now let's take a look at my honest review. What do I think about it? Let's start with the plot. The plot, it's well thought out and unfolds in a unique way. It relies on documents, investigation, and it is secret rather than just action. and it gradually reveals. And the gradual reviews keep readers engaged, because I was engaged, because at the end of the day I just want to know who the killer is. And the pacing is slow, it slows down in the middle, and the unresolved mother again, it's what took me off, because I want more. The unresolved mother took me off. So because of that, because of the unresolved mother, because we didn't get to know the killer behind Chinwe's death, I'm going to give it an 8. No, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10, because we did not get to know who the killer is. And then we see characters. I love the characters. From Grace, from Chinwe, I mean, they represent strong female lead, and I love it. I love when I see the women in the books when they are strong, not the African normal stories that is portraying African women as calm, as quiet, and this center of suffering. So I love the fact that they stood out. Grace, she very strong character. Chinwe, very strong character as well. We see Kene. I love his character because of the way the author put Kene to portray that autistic behavior. Like, I love it, and I love the detective as well. And David character, not too much, because it's kind of difficult to connect with him emotionally, but yeah, the character actually played out the role well. Now, the writing style, I love the use of words, the financial words that was used, the ledger, bank statements, calendars. Like, I love it. It's quite creative. The storytelling devices is creative and efficient, so I love that. But the style feels like it was repetitive of times. Like, I don't know, just this repetition I kept seeing. Some faces kept reoccurring in the book. Not like I have an issue with it, but I just felt like, okay, it could have been better in that sense. But now let's go back to the character. I didn't give it a rating. The character, I'm going to give the characters an 8 out of 10. I gave the plot 7.5. The characters an 8. The writing style a 9. The theme, I'm going to give the theme an 8 out of 10. Emotional impact, I felt sympathy towards Kene when he lost his mother, and I also felt sympathy for Grace, but thankfully Grace is a very strong character that you would not like feel too much sympathy for in the long run, but the emotional impact was there, so I'll give it an 8 out of 10. The suspense, the way the author kept me in suspense, and I did not later get to see, I'm just pained because I do not know who the killer is. So that is what I'm just pained about. So the suspense, I love it. I love the twist. So this, because of the suspense, I'll just give the suspense an 8. It would have been more if we got to know who the killer is, honestly. The ending, I'm going to give the ending a 6.5 out of 10 because, again, the case, the Chinwe's mother remains unsolved. So yes, a 6.5 out of 10. Overall, I would give the book a 7.5 out of 10 because of the ending, literally. Because I feel like the essence of the book, it would have been more catchy if we got to know who the killer was. You could have just been spinning it, and yes, we should just get to know who the killer is. But yeah, well, it's a good read, but yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Overall, it is well written and emotionally intelligent novel that combines family drama, psychological suspense, crime friction. Its biggest strength are its character. The character, yes, they hold such a strong, significant place in the book. And the themes as well, it made the book so strong. The storytelling style, the unique storytelling style, I love that. And yes, the slow pacing, I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that everything was not rushed. It's detailed, but again, why don't we know who the killer is? Why didn't we get to know who the killer is? But yeah, I love it. But I'm going to conclude who the killer is in my mind. I'm going to end that book in my mind. in my own mind, I'm ending it as Grace being the killer, because she discovers that, she actually knew about the old secret affairs before, and then decides to kill Chinwe. There, I ended the book in my mind. All right, we'll go on a very short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Chapter and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you. Yeah. There's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapter and Chat on Oxygen 96.9 FM, where we explore books that connect with you. There's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild. Every chapter has a story, and every story deserves a voice. Welcome to Chapter and Chat on Oxygen 96.9.
Your station, your heartbeat. Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
Okay, here we go.
Oxygen FM 96.9 Ibadan.
The Mailman, a message from you waiting in your future.
You can send your stories via our WhatsApp number 0704-1007-969, or simply walk in and drop your message at the Knowledge Hub, Okeado, Ibadan.
The Mailman, Oxygen FM 96.9, Okeado, Ibadan.
Rocky, leto yẹn. Rocky, leto yẹn o. On Oxygen FM radio, Rocky 96.9, Rocky. Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Sátidé ni Rocky. Aago mẹ́jọ ságo mẹ́sàn-án àṣálẹ́ Rocky. Oyè Rocky kìkìkìkìkìkìkì Rocky. Rocky leto yìí Rocky. Òkè àdó má lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣàlàwà Rocky ṣàlètò yìí o Rocky. Lọ́jọ́jọ́ Sátidé ló ti Rocky. Lágogo mẹ́jọ ságo mẹ́sàn-án àṣálẹ́ Rocky. Rocky. Kó máa Rocky lọ́sẹ̀ Rocky. Kó máa Rocky lórí Oxygen FM 96.9.
Ìtàn tó ń kọ́ni. Àlọ́ o, àlọ́. Bí ẹ bá fẹ́ gbọ́ ìtàn àròsọ bíi ti àwọn bàbá wa, gbọ́ òwe, orin ìbílẹ̀ àti ẹ̀kọ́ tó ń tọ́ ènìyàn sọ́nà rere, ẹ darapọ̀ mọ́ Kọ́ládé Sàlámì Bàbá Àṣà, Oracle of Culture, nínú ìtàn àṣà alẹ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láti aago 6 títí di 7 ìrọ̀lẹ́ lórí Oxygen FM 96.9. Ìtàn wa, àṣà wa, ìgbéraga wa.
Ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀, àgbẹ̀ ló láyé. Every seed you plant is a promise. Every harvest is a reward of your faith in the soil. If you walk the land, tend the garden, build along the agricultural value chain, you are not just farming, you are feeding the future. Láṣẹ̀níkẹ́ ẹgbóríyìn fágbẹ̀. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé lètò kan ètò kan tẹ́ ó ti máa mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àtàǹfààní rẹ̀ lórí ìkànnì Oxygen 96.9 FM Ìbàdàn ní gbogbo ọjọ́ Sátidé láago 5 ìrọ̀lẹ́ dáago 6 gbẹ̀rẹ̀ 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. pẹ̀lú àwọn atọ́kùn méjèèjì Bámidélé Olúwafẹ́mi Oko, MC Ban tó ń ti alàgbà Dennis Gideon Chidi. Àgbẹ̀ ló láyé àròkọ bọ́dúndé o.
Kan sára sí àgbẹ̀ àròkọ bọ́dúndé tóròkọ
cookbook, ocean photo. Spin around the block everywhere you go. Say now the air, you be not just a radio. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oxygen. 96.9, 96.9. Oh, oh, oh.
Reading Oxygen FM 96.9. Inform, inspire, ignite.
Yeah, there's a place where stories come alive and imagination runs wild.
All right, thank you for staying with us. Chapters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9. And today we journeyed through The Ledger by Lola DEBOLA. And of course, I gave the book a 7.5 out of 10 because at the end of the day, we did not get to know who the killer is. Though I love how the book was written, I definitely enjoyed how the book was written, but I wish that suspense could have been the kind of suspense that would just have our jaws drop like, what do you mean? So we didn't get to see that. We didn't get to know who the killer is. Instead, the book was more focused on the entire secret, that's David Adebayo's secret, getting revealed. So that's why I gave the book what I gave it, a 7.5 out of 10. And that is our review on Chapters and Chats today. Always remember that every book tells a story, but the best book always makes us examine our own life. Are you always out there? You have a secret family. Anyways, until next time, make sure you keep reading, you keep learning, and never underestimate the power of a good book. My name is Floriana, and this has been Chapters and Chats on Oxygen FM 96.9. Have a beautiful day.
Yeah.